Hi and welcome to the North East Football Show. I'm Ant.
And I'm Les.
And I'm pleased to say there's not a golf club in sight this week.
This week we've come to Mariners Park, the home of South Shields, who are currently the leaders of the second division. This Saturday they're at home to Thornaby, and we're expecting a really big crowd because we've heard some great news about their attendances.
Yeah, it's supposedly the last few games have had over 400-500, so we'll see what happens today. So the crowd's starting to really fill up. You can see why it's starting to get a bit of a reputation around here for having big attendances. We've managed to get John King, the manager of South Shields, just before the game starts with Les.
So I've been joined by John King, who's the manager here at South Shields. John, can you tell us how long you've been here first of all?
I think I'm in my 5th season now. Yeah.
And times have changed, I hear.
Yes, massively. You know, from me first come to the club to where we are now, it's a massive transformation. You know.
One of the things, and it's one of the reasons we're here, is the crowds that you're getting. Where's that actually originated from?
Well, I mean, it's always been a massive town. South Shields is a big footballing town. It's one of the biggest towns in the country without a football team in the Football League. So once you put a good side out here, and we got back home, it was always going to happen, you know. I think it's happened quicker than what we originally thought, but that's down to results. You know, we're flying at the moment, so that's what's getting the crowds come, you know.
Yeah, 8 points clear, and how many was it? 12 games now unbeaten.
We've only 11 on the spin.
Only 11.
Hopefully 12 after the day.
Yeah,
hopefully 12 after the day. But we've had 10 clean sheets in that as well, so that's the reason the fans are coming, you know.
And how long has it taken you to get this squad together? Obviously, you'd be happy with the squad you've got now. So
yeah, I mean, you're always looking to improve your squad, you know. But it took from July, you know. So obviously, once Jeff bought the facility and whatnot, and we agreed on a budget, it was up to myself to go and get the squad for the season, and we did that in July. We got most of the lads in, but I mean, we've brought a few lads in since then. You're always looking to strengthen the squad, but I'm really happy with what we've got now, you know.
Yeah. And what's the story behind Juliaga?
Yeah, I mean, I used to be manager of Morpeth. I had a physio there, a lad called Stevie Shaw, and he was friends with Julio. I got wind of that. Also heard that he was playing for a team in Sunderland on a Sunday, and I thought to myself, once I knew that we were back in the town, it could be a good fit, you know. So I spoke to Stevie, I got his number. I spoke to Julio, who's been fantastic all along. I think me and Jeff Thompson, the owner, we had 2-3 meetings with him. He always wanted to come, but it was just down to his ankle. He had a problem with his foot, and it was whether he could sustain playing. And speaking to him last week, he's getting stronger and stronger. You know, he just couldn't commit to full-time football anymore, training 5 days a week. So it fits good for him, it fits good for us. And the back line, he's been fantastic as well. You know, for he's scored some great goals. He's infectious around the place. The lads love him. Everybody loves him, and he's proper down to earth fella. You know.
Do you think he's had anything to do with the crowds, or like you said, has the crowds always been there?
Well, I mean, first of all, Julio definitely had something to do with the crowd. I think our first game of the season against Northampton, I think we had 417. So we did have that's one of the biggest without Julio coming. But once Julio came, the first time he did come to the ground, he wasn't available, but it had already been publicised that he was signed for us. And I think that day alone there was 800 here, so it doubled with Julio coming. But I think from that, I think the fans that we're getting now, the more and more fans we're getting now, yes, a large part come from Julio, but I think now we're getting more about people telling their friends, people in the town, getting wind of what's going on here, you know, the success of the team at the moment, people's talking word of mouth. So I think a large part of it's that as well, you know.
Obviously you touched on Jeff. We came in and the fans couldn't speak highly enough of him.
He's like,
tell us a bit about him.
To be fair, he's great, Jeff. You know, he's been like a messiah. I know that, I mean, that's a big word, you know, but he actually has. You know, without Jeff, you know, we'd still probably be down at Peterlee. We still wouldn't have the calibre of squad we've got now. So we kind of thank Jeff enough, you know. And if you meet Jeff, he's absolutely fantastic. He's just totally down to earth man. He's from South Shields, from Whiteleys, and he just wants to bring the good times back. He used to watch them in the 70s, 80s, I think, with his family. He's seen the potential there. And to be fair to Jeff, you know, there's been a lot of businessmen come down, you know, to Filtrona in the last few seasons when we were struggling to look to buy the place, and they didn't. So it's a massive quality, if you like, that he's seen, you know, the potential here, and he has actually backed it up. You know, he's coming actually getting on board where a few people came down to do that, but they never did.
Yeah.
You know, so it's full credit to Jeff. Now we know that everything's going on here. You know.
Well, we're hoping to have a word with him a little bit later. But listen, thank you very much for your time.
Thanks for your time.
Big thanks to John there, because obviously with it being a match day, time is of the essence. But we're now going to join Anthony, who's with the chairman, Jeff Thompson.
So we're here with Jeff Thompson, the chairman of South Shields, and we're going to ask him a few things, how he got involved with the club. So Jeff, can you tell us how long you've been here?
Well, it's been quite a short period, really. We basically bought the club and the freehold here only 4 months ago.
Really?
So quite a short period of time, but still a lot of work ahead, but we've made a good start.
And what sort of made you get involved with the club?
Yeah, well, it's a good story, actually, I think, because what happened was I used to watch Shields as a younger lad up at Simonside Hall, and I always knew that they were playing here, which we now call in Mariners Park.
Yeah.
But in truth, I got a letter from our treasurer, from a guy called Bob, who's basically our historian. He's on one of our committees, and Bob had written to me looking for sponsorship. So I assumed that the club was still here, and we're just looking for some corporate sponsorship. And of course, once I'd replied to Bob's letter and spoken to him and come down and met the lads here, I realised that actually the club were in a difficult spot.
Yeah.
Basically, the club had been kicked off the ground. We're playing 30 miles away down at Peterlee, and all credit to Peterlee Council because they managed to give them a good facility down there. But obviously, it was a terrible thing that South Shields Football Club, all of its heritage and its history, and we weren't even playing in our hometown. So it's a long-winded response, but what I'm saying is once I'd sort of realised the true circumstances of the club and got to know some of the lads here, and having watched the club and been born and bred in South Shields, it just seemed like it was the right thing to do to get involved and try and help.
And you've done quite a lot, to be fair. I mean, we'll go through with the camera later on in the show anyway to show people the sort of setup, but can you tell us a little bit what you've actually done here and changed?
Yeah, thank you. Well, I mean, as I say, in 4 months there's only a certain amount you can do, but what we have done is we've done certain ground improvements, and things like moving fencing, so we've got extra capacity to put up future stands around the ground. We've done a complete refurbishment of, we created a small sports bar downstairs, refurbished the 2 bars up here. So the idea behind that, by the way, is just obviously create a great facility for the supporters. Also, we hope that the community in South Shields and in South Tyneside can use the facility, beyond the football club itself. So trying to make Mariners Park a bit of a hub really for, yes, football, but also community-based activity.
We noticed a lot that when we first came in, actually, because normally when you come into clubhouses, there's one man and his dog, sitting in the corner, and when we've just walked through there, myself and Les, and it's actually hard to get through the crowd, basically, which some pubs aren't even that busy now. So to have that sort of response straight away, as you say, in 4 months, it's looking good for the club. It's
really, really encouraging, and I can't stress enough that there's a lot of hard work, not by me, but by a whole host of people, and we've come a long way, and I'm delighted with the progress so far. But obviously the idea is to build something for the future, so the idea is that the foundations we're putting in here, i.e. having a nice facility that can generate some off-field revenue for the club, which we can reinvest. Obviously I've mentioned the investment in the ground and the facilities. We're looking to invest also in an 11-a-side pitch, a 3G pitch, which we're hoping to secure. So my point is we've got some ambitious plans. What we've achieved in 4 months has been great,
amazing.
But there's a long way to go. And obviously the fact that we are attracting the right kind of crowds, and it's just sort of confirmation really that non-league football, I think, generally is on the up, and if people kind of get involved and understand what's going on at non-league level, it's an amazing environment. I wish I'd been involved years ago. It's really amazing, and it's a really exciting thing.
It's good. You can tell you've got a passion for it rather than just coming in and sort of handing a bit money over and then letting them get on with it, which is a lot of people's downfall. To be honest, we found at clubs where they've done that, it doesn't survive. Sorry, I know the game is going on behind me, so if you're dying to get out, so I'm trying not to keep you.
No, not at all. I think on that point, you've raised a very good point, because this can't be about someone like me just writing a check what we're trying to build here is a model that works in the long run. We're running the club professionally. We've got a business plan, we've got a board of directors, we've got various committees that are established, so it's being run professionally, being run correctly, and as I say, we've got a long-term plan. It will take time, and who knows where we might be in time, but I think we made a great start.
No, definitely 100%. In 3 years' time, where would you like the team to be?
Well, it's always, as you say, difficult to make a prediction, because people will rush to remind you of it if you fail to achieve
But a
that.
realistic one.
But no, realistically, why can't South Shields be playing in the conference? That would be our ultimate
The
goal.
big sort of dream.
And I think that it might sound a bit grandiose, but why not? We've got a passion for football in this region. South Shields is a big town, approaching 100,000 people, not including obviously the towns around Shields itself. So there's a big conurbation, a conurbation and a group of people who are passionate about football. So there's some ambitious plans, and it is going to take us some time, but I don't see any reason why we can't achieve that.
Fantastic. Well, best of luck, and thank you very much
Thanks
for missing
coming
some of the
down.
game.
No, that's all my
See
pleasure.
soon
Thank you.
again.
Thanks so
Cheers,
much. Thank you.
Well, that's the end of the first half of the show. There's what's next.
I don't know. I'm away on holiday. It's up to you, pal.
Yeah, again. He's always on holiday, this lad. Well, join me, by myself, for some more action in the next part of the show.